Welcome back to For the Fans. My name is Kevin, and we're here to talk about Big Brother 26, the week
Hello, everybody, and welcome
HOH
to For the
Eviction.
Fans.
Oh, he's here. We're here with Kiley and Sheldon. And guys, we weren't here last week. We're here this week. Brooklyn went home last week. Tonight, Tucker went home. Wow. What a like you said pre-show, Kylie, what a 6 weeks we've had in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, this has been something.
It's been enjoyable.
Look, it's been more than enjoyable, guys. Like, I will admit that over the last few years, I have been a little bit annoyed that there have been 3 hours of Big Brother to watch every week. And the truth is, minus maybe yesterday's episode, that shouldn't have been 2 hours, and maybe the episode with Jag, Taylor, and Cody.
The recap.
Which was unnecessary. This has been a really good season. Like, I can't take my eyes off of the screen, and
it's been enjoyable. And like a lot of times, following the feeds, I'm not excited to watch the episodes, and I have genuinely been excited for every episode. Like, I've laughed out loud. Like, I think that they've done a good job of producing the TV show this year too. And I don't know if some of that is because I'm I could say more invested, but I'm always invested, but more interested, I guess. And so I'm enjoying the episodes. So I'm trying not to be a bitter Betty and, just think that now the season's going to tank. But, hopefully the show can continue giving us really, really fun episodes for the rest of the season.
I think it's interesting because I think if the season tanks, we're going to say because Tucker's gone. But I think if it does, it might have to do. I think a part of the reason of the intrigue has been the AI arena, but I think it ends after this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the AI arena has been probably the best twist that they have done in years. Maybe ever, like since the golden power of veto. But that being said, is the AI arena as exciting if you don't have a Tucker? I think, we're going to have time to sing Tucker's praises, maybe 2 of us and not 3 of us. But I definitely think a large part of the enjoyment of this season is because of Tucker and his unconventional gameplay. Not necessarily good, obviously, but it's been unconventional, unpredictable, and undeniably fun.
So I think you're right, Kylie. Like, I think the AI arena, big part of it, and not necessarily just the actual fact that they have another opportunity to get themselves off the block. It fundamentally changes how you strategize. Like, it has to. And so you're playing a little bit of a different game. It used to be after veto, you knew what happened. Now you don't. And the veto happens, correct me if I'm wrong, on Sunday, and its results on Monday. So Monday through Thursday, they weren't doing much, right?
Right. And they're working, 2-3 weeks down the road. Whereas, we can't plan 2 or 3 weeks down the road because we don't know what's going to happen this Thursday. Because depending on the scenarios of who's
actually, Sheldon. It's even worse, actually. Noms were Friday. Veto's played Saturday. So Sunday, you're deciding what you're doing.
Yeah.
Monday afternoon, Veto's done. And then, like you guys are saying, on to Chicago after that. You know what I'm saying?
I do think there's 2 other aspects here that change of the game. We have had other seasons where there was, instead of 2 people nominated, it was 3. I fundamentally like this. I think it changes the role of HOH and it changes the role of the house as well, because it is far more dangerous to be an HOH in this game. I think that's a really big change to this. And I actually think that's going to be part of why, prediction alert, I think Joseph is probably going to win this game.
He won't.
Well, let me speak, my friend. Like, I think the fact that he has been purposely, I believe, not winning things is going to allow him to really position himself really well throughout the rest of the game. One final point, and I brought it up multiple times. the fact that the competitions are so different, are like it is truly almost outside of the wall comp. Every competition is anybody's win. Anybody could have won tonight.
Well, I mean, we at this point we have
changes
seen
everything.
now everyone. Angela's won a competition. Cam's won
Two.
one.
Angela's won 2 competitions.
Chelsea. Well, I know that, but I'm saying Joseph didn't or hasn't. Kenny did. Chemo won one. Leah hasn't. Lisa won one. Mackenzie's won some. Matt only got to play in one. Quinn has won. Yes.
So
yes, Quinn won one.
So Rabina is the only one, as well as Leah. There's 2 people left.
Yeah, 2 people left that haven't won anything. Like that's exciting, and that makes the season a lot more interesting. Whenever, like, who knows? Like,
but that's what I'm saying, though. Hold on, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many other factors outside of Tucker that make this season a lot better. I think the fact that the comps are equitable is a huge portion of it. The reason, I want you two to tell me, because we're going to get into our 4 things like we always do. But I know you two are big Tucker fans, and the internet, the casuals at large are big Tucker fans. Wow. I have not been, and one of the reasons why I haven't been is because I don't like, after every veto, him blowing up anything he's heard and then having to rebuild structures that you're working on. I know. I don't like not being able to strategize, because every time you try to strategize, this man gets a little whiff of it, because Quinn dumbly tells Joseph, who then tells Tucker, that's his number 1, and then he just puts it out there and it blows. Then you're back to picking up pieces again, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't personally like that. So what is the appeal?
Wait, what did you say?
What's the appeal? And for me, the appeal, without a doubt, is that I agree with you from a strategic perspective. Although I actually kind of want Tucker to be a really good player, he isn't. He is not a good strategic player. This was inevitable. He had to win out literally this entire season to win this game. It was inevitable. If it wasn't this week, it would have been next. If it wasn't next, it would have been the week after. So no, not a good strategic player. 100% though, from an entertainment perspective, just like Angela in her own way is giving us entertainment, Tucker is really similar in that fashion, except at least Tucker was seemingly better at creating authentic relationships, seemingly able to actually do a little bit of
here's the thing is, as unpredictable as Tucker is, Tucker kept his word to people. Like, he told Cedric what he was going to do, and he followed through with it. And he, told Quinn, hey, I'm going to pull you off of the block. And he did. And he did all of these things. He kept his word. It wasn't always the best strategic thing. But, I think he's just very, very unique. We've not really seen anybody like him. Yeah. And to me, I don't need every single person to be this, oh my gosh, like this is Dan, this is Dr. Will. I don't need that, because it's boring if everybody's a Dan or a Dr. Will, or a Dan or Dr. Will wannabe, as we've got to this season. But I want people that are dynamic, and what we have gotten from Big Brother, especially the last 6 seasons, is we have gotten, okay, this is what you do. You create this big alliance, and you create the smaller alliance within it. Like, it was great and innovative, and it is textbook how you should do it. But it was interesting when we got to see it done the first time, but it's boring to watch it, even if it is strategically the way that you should play. But I'm watching a television show, and I want to be entertained on a television show. And all of the seasons have some good components, and they might have a couple people that are, like, this was my favorite this season. Like, Tiffany, great player, very interesting. That season, not interesting to me, because it wasn't fun to watch what happened. Like, I want to see shifts of power. Like, I am ultimately sad to see Tucker go, because I've honestly not been this upset about someone being evicted in probably a decade or more. But I like the shift of power of, like, okay, shit is up in the air again. Like, if Chelsea or Cam wins this HOH, then all of a sudden Chemo, T-Core, well, probably not T-Core, but Chemo, Rubina, those people are on their heels when they were just in power. And
if Cam wins, I think T-Core's in the balance too if Cam wins. But you're right.
No,
Chelsea.
no.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like seeing this shifting. And probably the last season we got it a little bit was in like BB20, somewhat, until level 6 took complete control of the game.
I felt like we got it with the
That's
leftovers.
Huh?
I felt like we got it with the leftovers.
No, we didn't.
We got one shift. It was like a single one. It wasn't back and forth. It was one shift, and then the steam.
So I just have 2 points, as both of you were
that
talking.
season wasn't fun. It had a very negative.
Yeah, it had a lot of negative.
Very negative aura, and we've not had that this season. And so
Right.
That's one of my points. So that's really one of my points. It is a very strange season because I truly think they all actually like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they also are all very aware that they're playing a game. And by all like each other, probably everybody, and they tolerate Angela.
Well, they don't. The reason I said Joseph can't win is because they don't really like Joseph.
That's interesting. I want to hear more about that. But my other point is, and I do want to go back to Tucker as a person. I think the uniqueness of Tucker is I don't think we've ever seen a muscular guy who was good at challenges, who was also good at brainy challenges, who is also quirky, who is also funny, who is also like he is one in a million. And although maybe, Kevin, you're right that the game will continue, there will be shifts, there will be fun play. I think we're going to hopefully, please, because I really still want Chelsea to do well and win. I think if she gets the power this week, we're going to start seeing more stuff happening. But from an entertainment perspective, I am going to miss Tucker.
Yeah.
He was fun.
This is not going to be the last time we see Tucker. We're going to see Tucker play Big Brother again. We're going to see him on the challenge. And
you will not see him on Traders.
Right, we see him on the Traders.
You won't see him on Traders. You'll see him on the challenge, though. He'll be a challenge guy through and
when
through.
But on the Traders, I think he would eat it up and spit it out.
Here's one question I have, though, right? Is Tucker really... It's not even that is he good. The man played with no fear, but it's because he did not. It seemed to me truly he did not really care to be there. So if you don't care to be there, then you can play fearlessly because your worst case scenario, you go home where you want to be anyway. And I don't like having people that don't want to play, and so it's.
But he did want to. He never. He
went on the block this week. The moment he stayed up there with Angela, he was telling Rubina he wanted to go home. He told T-Core he wants to go home. He told Rubina that he wanted to be with his dog anyway. He said he's been miserable for 3 weeks. He told Rubina that right then. He said he's been ready to go. He said he's been ready to go, which is why he's played so fearlessly. Because worst case scenario, I get what I want and I go home. So it's rumor is that production had to convince him to stay. These are the man didn't want to be there. So if you don't want to be there, you can say and do anything because worst case scenario, you go home. So he said multiple times he didn't want to be in the jury house. He said if he's in the jury house, he might just leave. He
wanted his dog.
Correct. But this is what someone does when they have no fear. And if you're playing with no fear, does that mean that I guess you're entertaining? I say I guess because it's you're reckless. You're 100% reckless. And people watch car crashes all the time. People enjoy watching them.
I mean, love him, hate him. I don't think you could deny the fact that he was entertaining.
I was not entertained. 100% was not entertained.
I mean, I honestly think that you're in the vast minority there.
I'm in the minority. I am in the minority.
Because there's lots of people that don't like Tucker, but I don't think that you can say that he wasn't entertaining.
The reason I wasn't entertained is because I'm entertained by good gameplay. I truly am. And it was not good gameplay. That's
genuine question.
Yeah.
You would rather have a boring season that's just run by a big alliance than a season like this?
So I don't think a season ran by a big alliance is boring. I don't.
No, I said, would you rather watch that? That is what you would rather watch. You would rather watch.
But Kylie, you use boring as the definer. Like I don't find that boring.
No,
So yes, I would much.
said, would you rather watch that? A season that is run by a big alliance. Like you would
Yeah.
rather watch like BB All Stars 2 as opposed to this season. This is more that
I
was
would
more
rather
entertaining than this.
I would rather watch BB23, BB20, like because I like those people.
So
I did not like
BB20
the people.
doesn't go into this category because BB20 does have power shifts.
Once level 6 takes over, I was still entertained because I liked those people. I did not like the people that were in the big alliance in BB22, so I was bored by the people. But if I like the people, I'm entertained by what's happening. I'm a big Chelsea fan. I like Chelsea a lot.
Yeah, I think
so like
Chelsea's great, but
so like if Chelsea's in a big alliance and running it, I'm entertained. I'm not entertained. I don't really like the fact that Tucker was blowing up things and like ruining good gameplay. So then I was not a fan. That's the truth for me.
So is that the reason? Are you not a fan of Angela also because she's doing?
Not a fan of Angela either. No.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I am a little bit over Angela.
Hold on. Tonight, I was watching Angela's speech and I was like, she about to ruin this.
She about
to get her ass in all.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I was listening to her speech and I'm like, do I have to listen to another one of these? Like I am completely over Angela and I'm bored by her, and it's starting to get uncomfortable to me actually.
Yes.
Like it's kind of like this shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be watching this, but there is, I don't know. There's this intangible thing about Tucker that I can't explain that I really, really like him, and I don't think I could be friends with him in real life. I don't think that way at all. Maybe I'm wrong, but Kevin, we had a lot to talk about. Let's get to our 4 things.
All right, let's jump into it. Let's start off with I'm glad you brought up Angela, because first off, we need to go to it. What is wrong with Angela 3.0? Okay, what is wrong with Angela?
Maybe 6.0.
You're right. Like I think 3.0 for us talking about it, 6.0 in reality. Angela once again in a decent spot, then decides to like screw it up on her own. It was so interesting because the outing of the showmans ended up really screwing up Tucker's game even more, because he had people infatuated by him that were in love with him and would lay their lives on the line for him. He tells them, guys, guess what? I have a girlfriend. And then all of them went like, what's going on?
I mean,
what am I doing?
Literally. Like the reason why he loses Leah, Mackenzie, and Angela are because of the outing of the showmans, where they were like,
yeah.
Oh, I don't have Tucker like I want to have Tucker. Therefore, Tucker needs to leave.
Yeah, Tucker doesn't need to be.
Women scorn. That's what you should have titled this. Women scorn.
It is really interesting you brought up that point, because I didn't know about the Mackenzie Leah stuff. But there, like in the tears I saw tonight in Joseph's eyes and in Cam's eyes, there is, Tucker seems to have this ability to make people want him and like him, right? The guys and the girls.
Well, the bros wanted to bro down. The bros wanted to bro down like they normally do.
Right. But it was like, and I wonder if the girls wanted more than that, or wanted him to himself. And so, but the bros, I don't know. What is it about Tucker that is like everybody wants him?
There are some people that just genuinely have this riz, to say what the kids would say. The riz, they have something intangible that a lot of people don't have, of this just innateness charisma, for people to like them. People are just drawn to them. And, I think, also part of what makes Tucker interesting is, he talks about, like, in his preseason press, he has a gay father. He said he's been bullied. He's been the bully. I think he brings a really different dynamic, even with that, of like, he's cool with Chemo basically telling him that he has a crush on him, because that doesn't threaten him as a straight man. And so I think that it's all of that just makes people drawn to him.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I think all like Kiley said, he has this charisma that really just draws people in. So the guys, then you also get in the fact that he's cool, but also he's good at the comps, and
Well,
he's someone.
I think we could take it even a step further. I think he's authentically himself, right? Like, I don't think we would have had the guys with those tears tonight if they truly didn't see his soul in the house.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think there's something so vulnerable about himself that it's hard not to love him.
But then that's why it's interesting though, because then Angela wakes up for a second and is like, he's going to take Rubina if he gets the chance.
Yeah, okay, but let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This honestly isn't smart for Angela.
No. I want to make sure this is clear. We're not supporting Angela.
Because Angela nobody wants to work with Angela except for Tucker. Like,
Correct.
Angela has literally shot herself in both kneecaps. Like, what are you doing? This is crazy. You are correct. He would not have chosen you at the very end over Rubina, his, girlfriend. I mean, they said, "I love you." He said it in Filipino to her for the first time.
Oh.
I will. Okay.
Tagalog is the.
Yeah,
Tagalog.
that's so cute and sweet. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, like, what are you doing, Angela? And, I've been a big Angela supporter, but her being the cause of them realizing they had the numbers, which they had the numbers without Angela, obviously, but them really putting it together because of this, it just, it makes me really mad at her.
Does Angela ever leave? Right?
We're getting to the point where she doesn't.
Well, I think we're almost there, because unless it's really a final two, like, I'm not sure Kimo and Tikor will go against each other, right? But outside of that, who the hell doesn't want Angela beside them at the very end?
Well, Angela's going to be one of the rare people that goes home because she's annoying and not because it's like the strategically good move.
Mm-hmm.
It could be so.
It's going to be, okay, like, this is an easy time. She's left on the block. Let's just get rid of her. Or she's never going to get evicted until, like, the final three.
It's going to be like Angela and Leah sit on the block, and there's going to be enough people that still want Leah in the game. So Angela can go here because we don't care.
I don't. Is she on the right show? Is Angela on the right show?
Yes. No. Okay, so you guys are talking about Tucker, right? Angela appeals to the same people, but negatively, right? It's a weird thing because the internet hates Angela because she took out Matt, who sucks. I don't know. I think it's weird that there was this infatuation over this dude in 1 week.
Yeah.
Which was wild. But
I'm more annoyed with Matt after he left and all his videos online than in the house.
No.
But that's where the chaos comes in with Angela. The chaos is the same. And it's still hitting all the pieces, but at least there is some semblance of gameplay there, in my opinion.
Well, and I think that the difference between Angela and Tucker is where we're talking about Tucker having this riz. Angela does not. Like, Angela is
negative riz.
Yeah, she is an off-putting person. She is the kind of person in real life that either you're going to love her because, she is your person and you love her, or you're going to be like, oh, hell no, not Angela.
Yeah. And all that kind of stuff ended up getting Angela. Angela was always being talked about, but then when she decided to come for Tucker, that ended up getting her straight on the block.
I think the reason I asked if this is the right show for Angela, I wonder if 3 hours a week is too much Angela. Whereas
we didn't even get her a lot of the week.
Thank God. But we saw her a lot the first few weeks and we're Angela out. Whereas a Survivor only once a week for 2 confessionals, we wouldn't have been annoyed. Or on Dr. Phil for a 10-minute segment, or on The Price is Right I wonder if they saw Angela on these shows and said, oh my God, she's this crazy kooky character, but too much kooky is too much.
No, I mean, I don't think they care if the general public likes their people or not. They want you to feel something about them. They either want you to like them or they want you to hate them. So Angela is giving them every single thing that they want.
Correct.
Angela is driving the narrative of the season people are actively rooting against her, and people are going to be devastated that, Tucker was
She
evicted.
survived again. Yeah, she
Yeah.
survived again.
And they're going to probably riot and, write CBS some mean worded letters.
Oh, for sure tonight. There'll be a lot of emails sent in. Sheldon, what did you think of the instigator?
Meh.
Same, right?
Meh. It was a whole lot of nothing. It was a wasted opportunity. He didn't use it well. I think, I actually think it's an interesting sort of a twist. But no, not tonight. Not this week. Sorry, Tucker fucked that up.
I thought he did good with the Rubina one, and then after she cried, it was like, okay, I'm gonna not do fun stuff anymore.
And so, I still think he did some fun stuff. They didn't show it on the episode, but he was doing it, and he was getting people to think that this is part of the next HOH competition. So they were studying what was happening. That's fun. And I mean, when they announced this twist, I was like, well, this is nothing. Nobody is going to care what is said by this person because they're going to know it's, someone just trying to stir the pot. And so the fact that there was actual game ramifications from it is shocking. The other thing that is shocking to me, and this is kind of the last thing I even have to say about the instigator, is there were people online that were like, I'm giving him $0. I'm like, why? What kind of hater are you? I don't care that it's Tucker. I would be voting $20,000 for anybody. It's not my money.
It is not my
money. So I'm gonna give anybody $20,000. Why the hell not?
Not
I did not vote, but I probably would have voted $0.
What? Why?
Let me tell you why. Because I thought it was fantastic with the Rubina one. I thought we were gonna get kind of that kind of action all week. That's the only reason. It was not even a hater move. It was because I thought that
is a hater. Who cares? Give this man 20 grand.
I thought it was one thing me and you talked about, Kylie, even when they announced it, was that this would have zero impact on the game. Because I was with you. I didn't think this would matter at all. Then it did, and I was like, oh, let's see if he's able to do more shit to impact the game. Yeah, and then he intentionally moved away from that part.
But Kevin, the floppiness of that is that it impacted his game negatively.
Yeah. It fucked up his own game.
That's the flop. Not only were the rest horrible and boring and uninteresting, the one that kind of was interesting should have been done by Quinn, not by him. What? It was confusing.
That's what was tough. I think all in all, like you said, give him $20,000. I was like, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not really mad about it.
$20,000. We're on week 6. Is that where we're at? 5? Not a bad few weeks, Not
a bad few weeks, you know what I'm saying? And then also you did a great audition for the challenge. I think he's gonna give people like Jordan a run for his money because I think he's well-rounded and he's gonna bring entertainment. Poor Rubina, this relationship's not gonna last. He's about to go on the challenge and be out there. So we're gonna see what happens.
You don't know that.
Kylie, me and you've been watching the challenge for years. Is this man, listen. Kylie, tell Sheldon.
It's probably not going to last, but I'm actually really rooting for him. So
yeah, of course, I am too. But I was just talking about the challenge. Him on the challenge once he gets to the challenge house.
Well, I mean, it depends. Is he a piece of shit like Tony Raines, or is he a good, faithful person? I mean, kind of everything that we've seen of him, he seems like he's probably a pretty faithful, loyal person. So, I mean, I don't know. I would say the odds aren't good, but.
As a non-challenge person, do they all hook up there and make relationships? Is that a big part of the challenge?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So it's the Bachelor challenge?
No.
Oh, okay. It's horizontal.
It's the Bachelor Fantasy Suite challenge.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. All day, every time. All right. Number 3, Yankee swap till you drop. What did you guys think of the prizes, the Yankee swap in general? Do you think Tucker threw it?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, he didn't throw it. Why would he throw it?
No, he didn't throw it.
I think he was nice that he didn't make Chelsea, not Chelsea.
T-Core.
Who wear that outfit?
T-Core.
T-Core wear that outfit, but that was a mistake. He should have made $25,000 this week, not just 20.
I mean, I don't know if it was a mistake. He should have definitely taken it, or the trip, one or the other. Like, he should have.
But yeah, I don't know. It was a fine competition. Man,
It's fine.
I'm not that excited.
I didn't like the results, so whatever.
What'd you think of the punishments themselves?
Meh.
I mean, I think I'm kind of over this, like where we're giving them almost impossible tasks. That's not Big Brother. Like,
I mean, it is Big Brother, but it shouldn't be Big Brother.
yeah, sliming her, sure. You know, making. I don't know. I don't enjoy watching these tasks that are damn near impossible. Like,
Well,
over 8 miles that she had to walk picking those things up. That's crazy.
I'll be honest. I would have been happy.
I don't like it.
I would have been happy to do that one. I would have lost a few pounds overnight. My real issue with these things was Joseph's. That seemed like torture to me. Like, that was hell.
I think I'm with you, Kylie. I'm over the all night over and over challenge, and I'm over the isolation challenge. You gotta keep. I mean, the leotard. You gotta keep that.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
I think the spirit of Big Brother is silly. You know, like the unitard, and you know him looking up the fact that's fun. It's silly. You wake him up in the middle of the night. That stuff. That's, to me, that's Big Brother. I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I don't like the having to walk 8 miles and pick up 1,000 balls and yeah.
Same. I those kind of things I'm just over. I do like the prizes. That's fine. I like that. Once again, we had a pretty equitable comp. It was you just got to shoot it at the thing. Anybody could do it. It wasn't far. So you didn't need to like get a lot of oomph into it. You didn't need a lot of strength.
Yeah.
It was the competition itself was fun.
Yeah.
You know, so let's get to our last point of the evening, all tuckered out. T-Core put up Tucker volunteered. First and foremost, I need to say this. Tucker being mad about being on the block after you volunteered and that she took you up on your offer is ridiculous to me. How are you mad when you volunteered?
Right.
Look, Kevin, you're right. If I reflect on this week as a whole, I would call this week a week of individual failures. I think Tucker failed when he said, "Put me up." I think T-Core also failed, in truth, when she put somebody she actually wanted to work with and trusted on the block. That's a fail. I think that I think that Angela failed when she decided that, you know what, let's blow up the only thing we have in this house. This is failure after failure after failure.
Sheldon, I have one question for you real fast.
Yeah. Yes.
How put out is T-Core that Tucker's gone?
Well, if you think so, I have
T-Core specifically.
I think you've got a lot more information than me. I think T-Core is in a really interesting position between her and Chemo, because I think she has a relationship, at least with Chelsea. I believe with Chelsea that might protect her, right? Mm-hmm. I think this puts Chemo in a lot more of a vulnerable position now. So how upset is she? Well, that's sort of like saying it's okay to make a few bad moves because you're still going to
Was this a bad move for her?
Yeah. Like here's the thing. It is an impossibility that Tucker would have won out. He would have always been the target. Tucker would have gone home before the end. So yes, I think it is a bad move because even if it would have brought her closer 2, 3, 4 steps, I think it would have helped her.
If I have 2 allies and they are infatuated with one person, and I'm not that close to that person, is it bad that they went home? Or will that bring those 2 allies closer to me?
Who are your 2 allies? Are you trying to say Joseph and Chemo?
No, Chemo and Rubina.
No, and Rubina.
Oh, Chemo and Rubina.
Is this bad for T-Core?
Yes.
This does, as on the whole, this does not look like this is a failure of an HOH for T-Core.
I understand what
And
you're saying, Kevin.
I use
I
air
think
quotes.
you're right, but I think you're right in 3 weeks. Like, I think it's just too early for that.
Once Tucker can play in every HOH or every POV, it's too close.
Yeah.
You got a Jag situation on your hand.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna agree with Kevin. I know it's hard to believe. I think this is probably the ideal scenario for T-Core. She may not have vocalized it in the DR, but I think Tucker leaving was not bad for her personally in any type of way. It does hurt Rubina. It does hurt Chemo and the people that she is most closely aligned with. But it benefited Quinn. It benefited Chelsea. It benefited Cam. And it put her in good standing with Leah because she didn't put her up on the block. Maybe it hurt her standing a little bit with Angela, maybe, but they don't have much of a game relationship anyways, and nobody does with Angela. So,
correct.
I mean, I think it was a low-key, marvelous move by T-Core, and I think that T-Core is playing a phenomenal game.
And I think
Tasha in the chat, Tasha in the chat says she doesn't think it was a bad move at all either.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I tend to lean that way because we are at kind of a crucial position of the game because they are getting close to the point where Tucker's going to be able to play in every competition. Yeah. So you may not get and with me being so upset to lose Tucker, all of the people that voted him out made the absolute right decision.
So
I just don't like it.
Y'all know more than me. Did she say anywhere that she was happy with this, that this was her plan?
Well, as Tasha says here in the chat, T-Core has stated several times to Chemo and Rubina that Chelsea, Chemo, Rubina, and Quinn was her ideal final 5. Chemo and Rubina was like, and Tucker. And she was like, yeah. And then they were like, we're going to tell Tucker. And she's like, okay. But look, Chelsea, Chemo, Rubina, Quinn, myself. That's the 5.
If that's the case, I have been over the last few weeks extremely high on T-Core and her ability. I hate her accent, but that's besides the point. But I've been very high on her ability. And if this was thoughtful and this is what she wanted, then she pulled off a coup.
So here's the thing is
a real coup, Kylie.
I don't think that it was necessary. I don't think it was necessarily intentional, but it was like a whoopsies, look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like
as Bob Ross would say, there's no mistakes. There's only
happy little tree.
Yeah.
Happy little tree.
We're gonna make this little dollop here into a bird. Like, oh well.
The situation with T-Core specifically, this works out. I loved during this whole thing. Kylie, have you ever seen Star Wars? You're a Star Wars fan? Ever seen Star Wars?
Dork.
Okay. Sheldon, you have, right? Sheldon, you have.
Yeah.
So
I'm a Star Trek guy, not a Star Wars guy.
No worries. And one big thing about Star Wars is that there's the Empire, and then there's like a resistance that is like working secretly amongst the Empire. And watching Chelsea have to send little messages and like have to do signals, like hand signals to see if she can like talk freely with people about what her intentions were, because no one wanted to say Tucker's name out loud, was phenomenal. Watching on the feeds, watching in the cut in the show, because she's like, we all want Tucker to stay, right? Hey, we're voting on Tucker. Or if we get a chance, right? Where are we doing? Yeah, Tucker's great. Tucker's great. We love Tucker. Mackenzie's got to go, I guess. Tucker, you good with Tucker? That was so much fun, but it's what you had to do because, like Kylie said, T-Core didn't vocalize that this would be a oopsie, but she was like, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
If it happens, it happens. Like Tucker is this phenomenal competitor, and he is arguably, the one person standing between me and Chemo. I still think that that Chemo would choose T-Core over Tucker, but there might be that one slight hesitancy, and the only person that would be towards would have been Tucker. Same with Rubina. I mean,
think about an addition.
For T-Core, it's like, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe, oh God. But inside, she's like, she is literally jumping in the hallway.
Exactly like you're saying. Last week, she was like, I don't really want to vote Chelsea out. He's like, you got to do it. She's like, I don't really want to do that. You got to. That's what we got to do. And then T-Core's like, but do we have to? We can kind of do what we want to do, because Tucker this week was big mad that he felt like he wasn't being listened to while he was on the block. But last week, Tucker did what he wants. So the dude's a wild card. You couldn't control him. He wasn't working with T-Core.
I think what it comes down to is T-Core and Tucker are polar opposites as players. T-Core is very calculated, sometimes too reserved. Very, very strategic in what she says, very cautious. And Tucker is, in the whole diagram, of chaotic, I think Tucker's up here as chaotic good, because I think he was good to his people. And then, but T-Core's over here as
lawful good.
Lawful good. You know what I mean? They're opposites. So
yeah. And I actually think Tucker's chaotic evil.
I don't think he was evil. I think he's maybe he's chaotic neutral, and T-Core is I don't know. Lawful good.
He didn't break the curse though.
Maybe she's the evil one down there letting this happen. Who knows? I mean,
Tasha in the chat.
Ultimately, it's good for her.
Tasha in the chat says, "Do you think Chelsea would put up T-Core?" I do not. I don't think at all.
I don't. Yeah, maybe not ever, but definitely not anytime soon.
Yeah, I do not think so. I think that they are. I think she'll put up Chemo for sure. Chemo post haste. Chelsea's putting up Chemo and Joseph. She's like, fuck them. That is who she's putting up for sure. That's what I think. I think there's a good chance there's going to be a Real Girls Alliance.
Yeah, there's a slight chance, excluding Angela. Okay, question: who do you want to win HOH?
Brooklyn.
Mackenzie.
No.
No. I don't want to see Mackenzie. I don't need any more Mackenzie. Not only did I like Tucker and Angela more, Mackenzie does absolutely nothing for me. I do not need her on the television show anymore at all.
I think it would be really interesting to see what Quinn would do as an HOH now.
I think that's what I want. Quinn would really have to show his cards.
Tasha says Cam in the chat.
I don't want Cam. I don't need any more Cam either. Snooze fast.
Cam was playing this week.
No, this week Cam came to.
They were the resistance.
This was by far Cam's best week, but I don't need Cam.
Him and Chelsea had to be the resistance this week. They had to exchange notes secretly and put stuff in the trash so Tucker couldn't find it. It was.
Yeah, but I mean, Cam would have never done that without Chelsea.
Of course not. Chelsea's the best.
Right. So no, I don't need a Cam HOH ever. I don't need a Mackenzie one. I don't need a Leo one. Boring. I don't need Joseph either.
I wish we could vote some. I want to vote a few people out. Honestly, we don't need Mackenzie or Leah.
No. You can't have a vote, because then people would have voted out Chelsea. Literally, when I was early in the season,
I want to vote. I want the early vote.
They were early in the season. Okay, just a Sheldon vote. That's fine. Because I was astounded that people were like, Chelsea needs to go. She's too good at the game. And I was like, wait,
that's silly.
What? Silly. You want her to go because she's doing well.
Chelsea is precious. I want to bottle her up and put her in my pocket.
She's fantastic, and she's great in the DR.
Cute, really good mind.
I don't think we've had enough of her recently. Like, I think we had a lot more of her the first few
Well,
weeks.
she's
I would love
been the
some-
underdog.
Like,
But
but
wait,
I
she-
would love to see a little bit more of that underdoggy, what she's working on, what she's doing, especially maybe
Shelby,
during
that
a
was
2-hour episode that we didn't need.
It was the Tucker show.
Well, here's
Sheldon.
the thing.
It was.
I think I agree that I want Quinn to win HOH, but I do not want to listen to him talk.
No, he's annoying.
So
He's- He's not what I expected. He is not. I thought he'd be
I don't
nerdier.
want any more Quinn DR. And I don't want Quinn to vote anymore either because he annoys the hell out of me when he votes.
Well, guys, we're coming to that time.
Yes, we
You
are.
guys know I
Yeah.
love a ranking. So, from least likely to win to most likely to win, Sheldon, give me your rankings now that Tucker's.
I don't know why I always go first. Okay. Angela, and then there's a whole like step. So Angela's at the bottom.
Yep.
Leah, Cam, Mackenzie. This starts getting hard. Maybe Joseph.
Yep.
Chemo, maybe. I don't know. You could flip those two. Quinn, Chelsea, T-Core.
Okay. Kylie.
Okay. Angela's at the bottom. She's not going to win.
Yeah.
Mackenzie probably next. Nobody cares about Mackenzie. Third, Joseph. Nobody likes Joseph. Fourth, Leah. Nobody cares about Leah. Fifth, Cam. He's just there occupying space.
Wow, what a lady we have here.
She's not wrong. Kylie, I don't normally agree with Kylie. I'm right there with her so far.
Okay, who's left? Chelsea.
She became
T4,
skinny and now she's
probably Rubina. Rubina.
I would flip Rubina and Cam, but same.
Rubina has a very, very long way to go to be able to have a win at the end of this for her. Okay. Then that leaves Quinn probably next because I just think that people are going to get tired of his shit. And, you know, he's been outed as a rat so many times. It's going to catch up to him.
Dude, him catching them strays from Angela for no reason after the veto, he's just sitting there chilling. And all of a sudden,
she almost had a "you don't talk to me" moment again. That would have been great. And then, okay. So this is where it gets interesting because I think that the top three of Chemo, T-Core, and Chelsea are at this point in time running away with the game. Probably Chemo third because I think losing Tucker was very, very not good for his game. And then I'm probably going to go Chelsea second. I think she has the biggest potential to change that. But I think T-Core is very good, very smart, very well liked, and is positioned extremely well. And I don't think she is anybody's target. So I'm going to put T-Core.
I am pretty much in agreement with you. I have Angela at the bottom, the very bottom. I have Joseph next. Nobody likes the dude. I have Mackenzie after that because she at least has some like comp equity, so you could like try to say that she has some wins.
Yeah,
and she's trying to be involved in stuff. Then Leah, then Rubina, then Cam. Then I have Quinn, Chemo, T-Core, Chelsea, because I think Chelsea's head is on a little bit better in the game, so I think she'll be able to cut T-Core before, because T-Core's heart's too big, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Chelsea definitely has the killer edge, but I don't necessarily agree with her having her head on more. I think T-Core has been locked into the game the whole time, and I think Chelsea was cruising for a couple weeks, and this, the
Agreed.
Cedric and Brooklyn boots kicked her in the ass of like, oh, I better get back to
I
playing.
gotta get back to work.
And so I think I'm going to give it slightly to T-Core.
I might have misspoke then. I don't mean that she's like smarter. I think T-Core is a very, very intelligent player, but I think that she has the safety net of chemo and that she takes too long to make a decision on what she wants to do, whereas Chelsea has already thought it through completely in the 15 minutes while T-Core was just getting the first thoughts together, which is why she will cut T-Core before T-Core cuts her.
So I just have a thought. Do y'all maybe see some parallels between Chelsea and Shan?
No.
Other than God? Like that.
No.
Well, I mean, like I think, kind of strategic a little bit.
I love that both of them
check a little bit of killer in her.
I love the fact that both of them checked their religion at the door.
Yeah.
Like I
just was sitting here. I was like, maybe Chelsea kind of reminds me of Shan a little bit.
I think Tasha has it perfect here in the chat. T-Core is a very emotional player, so like that's gonna cloud it a little bit. Whereas Chelsea's 100% logical, and she's just doing what makes the most sense for me right now.
I mean, I think yes, T-Core is emotional, but I think at this point in time, like T-Core's kind of made all of the right steps. Like it was, we had this discussion 3 weeks ago of like, you were like, oh my God, like they should not have done this. They shouldn't have blown up the Pentagon so soon. Well, I mean, they blew up the Pentagon and they've literally blown the whole game open and took themselves from the bottom to sitting, especially T-Core, very, very well at the top. And so I think T-Core's got that killer in her too. But yes, she may be just a little too hesitant. But I don't know. I think I underestimated T-Core a whole lot preseason because I'm pretty sure
I think so too.
That this archetype wasn't good. That we didn't need the foreigner that doesn't understand the game. But I didn't realize T-Core wasn't like.
I feel bad. So it's funny.
Get rid of these illegal immigrants crossing our border.
Sheldon. I feel way worse about me and Sheldon's take on Tiffany than I do about any takes on anyone from Big Brother. Tiffany from Survivor than I do about anyone from Big Brother because we get so little in such a small amount of time. Yeah. We're making nothing but snap judgments.
Well, yeah, but I just was like, okay, she's gonna be like Indy and like Bowie Jane. We don't need this archetype. And if T-Core had been like Indy and Bowie Jane, I would stand by that statement.
Yeah,
I thought that she would just be a floater that we don't see a lot of and doesn't talk a lot, and she's just around. Like I just thought that she wouldn't have agency.
Well, it's funny. And here, Tasha says that T-Core had to be convinced by Chemo to blow up the collective. I think the collective was good for Chemo and T-Core. They just didn't realize how good it was for them because they were on the bottom, but Quinn's giving them all the information. Therefore, they're not on the bottom. They were in the know. So, and then the people that were in the Pentagon, she was more hurt. That key to the emotional part. She was more hurt about not being involved, more so than she wanted to actually go after those people. Those are people she really wanted to work with. So that's why having to be convinced by Chemo, and the real reason Chemo wanted to do it is because it was better for Tucker. Chemo's real suspect. I'm real interested to see Chemo play this game without Tucker in it going forward.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting week. Like, who the heck knows what we're going to be talking about next Thursday night? Because where does the house go? Where does the house go without Tucker in it? And so, does Rubina or Chemo or a Joseph win HOH and, seek vengeance for Tucker being voted out? Or do we see one of those middle people? Or do we see a complete shift in like a Chelsea or a Cam win?
Yeah. It is going to be interesting. I'm excited for Big Brother 26, part 3. Because part 1 was the Pentagon, part 2 was the Tucker show. Part 3, we'll see what happens, what forms here. It's going to be fun. Kylie, it's been fun seeing you tonight. Well,
I have a question.
So
I got a question before we run away. I want a little checkup on how our draft picks are doing.
oh,
Not to brag, but I have 2 of the 4 people that we all put at the top left on my draft team. I've lost 2, but I've got 2 strong left in Quinn and Chemo.
okay.
CJ. CJ's pretty much out of it without being officially out of it. He has 2 picks left. Also in Mackenzie and Leah.
Tough.
Kevin is sitting good with Chelsea and Rubina.
Okay.
And Shelly, you've got your whole team left. You've got Cam, T-Core, Angela, and Joseph, but unfortunately you only have 1 real chance of winning. So I'm going to be honest, like, of the people that are left, I think I have the best chance of winning, but y'all both have the better players, the 2 better players.
Yeah.
You have more shots at it, yeah. You have more shots.
Yeah, Sheldon. I think I have 2 legitimate shots, but y'all have probably the 2 best players.
Listen, I would much rather be in Kylie's position than yours, Sheldon. You have 4 people left, but the 2 of the 4 are Angela and Joseph. That's tough.
You
or you could be CJ and have.
Can you explain to me, please, the Joseph hate? Because I don't see that on camera on the show.
They just don't like him. They don't vibe with them.
Yeah,
and he likes to be by himself.
Like, I think they're like take him or leave him. He's going to get, he's going to be one of those people, kind of like Angela, where they're like, oh, well, Joseph's out. I put Joseph right there with like Leah and Mackenzie.
Really?
I think what it is, what it really is that, I think what it really is that he doesn't feel trustworthy, and then he isn't trustworthy.
Right.
Right. So what I mean by that is that Brooklyn and Quinn had a final 2. Tucker tells Quinn that Brooklyn told him about the final 2. He confronts Brooklyn. She swears on everything. It didn't happen. Then Quinn thinks about it and says, well, I told Joseph. How else would Tucker know? There it is.
And this too, Joseph intentionally isolates himself because he wants to like come across that he is, this non-threat. Nobody needs to worry about him. And they're like, bet, we're not worried about you.
Yeah, at all. For nothing.
And so it's intentional, but it's not good.
It's not getting the desired effect that he's looking for.
And he genuinely thinks that he's playing the best game and that he could beat everybody. And he was going to go to the end with Tucker. Genuinely was going to go to the end with Tucker. Like,
so
anything good I said about Joseph, I take back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Joseph is Angela, but he's, he's got a
Sasha
lot
said
of
he thinks he's Dan Giesling. I do not think he thinks he's Dan. I think he thinks he is Dr. Will.
Yeah. Throwing all the comps.
Trying to be mischief.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm just rooting for. My heart says I'm only rooting for Rubina, Chemo, and Joseph because they kept Tucker. But my mind says that I'm rooting for. But my mind says
you're rooting for Angela.
Well, yes, I'm rooting for Angela. But in reality, like I would love to see a T-Core or a Chelsea. Chemo, one of those 3 probably.
Chemo has been surprisingly fun to watch for me.
Yeah, Chemo is another surprise. I mean, y'all, do y'all remember his preseason stuff when he was only yelling? And I was like, well, this is going to be annoying. He's going to be awful in the DR.
He's not annoying at all. He seems like such a good guy.
And it's Quinn that's annoying. And I'm like, these 2 like reverse spots for me because, yeah.
Well, Kevin, what a week this has been.
If Quinn were to win this game, he would be insufferable. And this is my winner pick, y'all. I don't care.
You're not wrong. Man, this has been what a week, guys. What a week. We're on to the next phase.
We miss you. We miss you, Tucker.
We don't.
Can't wait to see you next.
Or whom.
Thank you guys for joining us. We are off Monday because of the holiday. Gonna try to come in on Tuesday. We're gonna see what we can do. If not, we will definitely be back Thursday to recap everything that happened for the week. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for joining us in the chat, Tasha, Stormwatch Druid. Thanks for coming through. Stormwatch, I do agree. MJ HOH would be interesting. Kylie doesn't want it, but I would love to see it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Coming to you from outside of the Big Brother house. Good night.
Good night.